Not like you guys are gonna want to hear this fucking bullshit, but the reality is, okay, if the world suddenly decides to abandon you, like a lot of people just abandon the world they live in because they can't handle it, they're so depressed, they're so, bitter and resentful. So what do people do? They just typically abandon the world, they abandon their loved ones or all of this and that. The whole message of this fucking video, people, is to tell you that even if the world abandons you or, your people abandon you, you have to be the person to not abandon the world back. Instead, do the complete opposite and be there for the world when the world couldn't even be there for its fucking self. The only way true healing can begin, the only way to really change the world and to really save it is to be someone who has compassion and love and understanding. If you're somebody who's suddenly going to abandon the world and your loved ones and the world that you fucking live in as a whole, how the fuck do you think you're going to save the world? How the fuck do you think you're going to help it? By abandoning the world you live in, you're no longer partaking in the society and the world you live in. Therefore, you can't do anything to help it because you're now exiting yourself from the reality you're living in. Therefore, if you're not a part of it, you can't be a part of it to help it. So that means by abandoning the world, you can't help the world. You can't fucking save the world. And there's too many people out there who are just abandoning the world, abandoning themselves, the people they fucking love. And the world is a fucking broken mess because of that shit. I'm not saying any of this shit's gonna be fucking easy, and in fact, it's gonna be some of the hardest fucking shit you could ever do. The world is in need of serious saving, and serious change is definitely fucking needed, and the only way to do that is to be there for the world, when the world, again, could not be there for its fucking self. Well, as always, people, you can take my advice, be there for the world, love it, and do what you can to help it, or you can continue to ignore it, abandon it, and do whatever you can to fucking harm it, and by doing nothing, that's fucking harming the world. And the world is in need of serious, healing, saving, changing. It needs all of that. But we can't abandon it in order to do that. In order to do that, we gotta be present, we gotta be a part of it, and we gotta be a part of the fucking solution, not be a part of the fucking problem. And by abandoning the world, you're part of the fucking problem. It takes balls, guts, and courage to be somebody to love the world when the world couldn't even fucking love you, let alone its fucking self and to begin with. As always, take my advice, don't take my advice. Abandon the world, don't abandon the world. Love it, don't love it, whatever the fuck it is you gotta do, but you know what you gotta do. And if you're someone like me who wants to save and change the fucking world, then you gotta be there for the world. You gotta be there for yourself and everybody else, and that's the only way to do it. You abandon your fucking post, you're not going to be able to do shit to fucking help it. So remember that shit for the fucking future before you decide, hey, the world's too hard, I don't want to be a partake of that shit anymore. You're going to now be a part of the fucking problem and not part of the fucking solution. Don't be a fucking cocksucker. Just do what you gotta do, help the world, don't abandon it, love it as best as you fucking can. Take my advice and you guys are fucking golden.